Today on Island Focus, you will enjoy meeting Sandy Ma, who is the Executive Director for Common Cause. Thank you for being with us, Sandy.
Thank you, Lila, for having Common Cause on your show today.
Please explain to us what Common Cause's mission is, vision, and how does free speech play into everything you do?
Well, Common Cause is a nonpartisan, nonprofit organization, and we want to make sure that we preserve and uphold the American values of democracy. We want to make sure that people can advocate at the legislature, before their county councils. People can advocate and talk with their elected officials and make sure that their positions are heard on par with big money donors, with lobbyists. So we want to make sure that people can actually engage, express their First Amendment rights of free speech, can actually engage with their elected officials. So that is our core mission.
So you work with elected officials and the public to prepare them for their testimonies, I guess, and for speaking up. What other issues are you involved in, or other subjects?
So our primary issues are making sure that our democracy, our constitutional rights, are open and transparent and accessible to the public. So we focus on ethics, accountability, and transparency. So we want to make sure that our government is equal on playing field for everybody, so that big money donors, big corporations, that the people who have a lot of money and access don't overrun the common people, so that we all have access, we all have equal participation in our government as envisioned by the founders of our Constitution, or should be envisioned by the founders of our Constitution.
Your personal professional background is in the legal profession. And so you have a really deep understanding of our constitutional rights. How do you help the public understand, embrace, activate, what they can do?
So we often hold training sessions on how to get involved in the legislature. For this 2020 election cycle, we get out the message that we are voting by mail for the first time in Hawaii, that it is imperative that we vote because that is the foundation of American democracy. That is the foundation of our advocacy, our First Amendment free speech. That is how we make our voice heard. That is the very basic thing that people can do. Engaging with our elected officials is voting. We disseminate information about bills that are moving through the state legislature that impact ethics, that impact campaign finance reform. We want to get money out of politics so that everyone can participate freely in our political system. We talk about transparency in government because we want to make sure that everyone can freely participate.
Freedom of speech is relative to, also has been synonymous with the term freedom of expression and freedom of action. How does that play in with not only Common Cause, but here in Hawaii, we're a little bit reticent to speak up sometimes. Even when something hurts us or when we're angry, we will maybe complain to our neighbor or complain to our friend. But you're asking us actually to step forward and assemble, gather, petition.
Yes, absolutely. I actually think that's slightly changing in Hawaii. About a month or maybe a month and a half ago, there was a huge Black Lives rally at the state capitol, which gathered about, it seemed like 10,000 people. And that was a great turnout. And it showed that the people of Hawaii are motivated and engaged and ready to make their voice heard for change. And that was wonderful. And we've been having a lot of activism across, not just on Oahu, but across the neighbor islands in support of issues that matter to us. And that's a wonderful expression of the First Amendment and of free speech, freedom of assembly. So that is absolutely necessary. And I think Hawaii people know that it is good to make our voices heard, especially during these times when things are so uncertain. And we've been having these emergency proclamations by Governor Ige suspending Sunshine Law and public records, which is not good for transparency and is not good for access to the government. And so people need to speak up more to make our voices heard more. and to let government know what we expect from our elected officials, what we expect from our government to serve our needs. That is our First Amendment right, and we need to exercise it. We need to tell government what we want from them because they are there to serve us. It's not the other way around.
Thank you so much, for that last inspirational statement, because it really behooves us to learn more about what's going on in our own state as well as the nation. Thank you so much for the work that you do with Common Cause.
No, thank you, Lila, for having me. And everyone vote. Please vote.
Mahalo for tuning into Island Focus and joining me in meeting Sandy Ma, who is the Executive Director for Common Cause. Aloha.